Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So, today I kind of wanted to talk about a new idea that I had, and I ran all the numbers, and our PVEers have options. Now, I put out a great video, you should definitely watch it, on the top 10 reasons why a PVEer should join the PvP server, and 3 reasons why you shouldn't, and all of those reasons are still valid. However, I did not realize that with a new addition that they snuck into the patch notes, PvEers do actually have an additional option, and I wanted to make you aware of that. So, the patch notes say, we have received feedback from our players regarding the need to change their play plans after the scenario has started. Therefore, we plan to introduce a scenario exit feature on October 17th. With this feature, you will be able to exit the scenario midway. Please stay tuned for further announcements for more details. So, October 17th is the day that the new Way of the Winter scenario for PvE is going to release. Now, originally I had stated that if you were like me in phase 6, so this right here that I'm on right now is a day 1 server for season 2, and I now have the ability to sign up. So what I was telling everybody to do was, hey, go to Prismverse Clash. That way you're not going to get locked in. You can do the 19 days and you're going to get all the Starchrom, you're going to get all the fragments. Like, it's a no-brainer. You should definitely go. Even if you were going to sit your character there and not do anything and just collect like the faction points and stuff like that, it was worth it. However, with that new exit strategy that they've added, it does open up the ability for a PvE player to avoid that altogether and still get a bunch of Starchrom, still get all their fragments and everything else. And you know what? I did the math, and you'll get more going to another PvE server. So let me break it down. So, we'll start off from the beginning. If you go to a PvP server, like I originally recommended, and remember, watch that video because there are reasons besides Starchrom that you should probably try the PvP server. But if you're dead set against it, and I know, like, I put out a poll, 60% of people were still like, I'm gonna wait, and a lot of people in the comments are like, I'm gonna wait. They just don't like PvP, and that's fair. PvP is not for everybody. But if you were to do a PvP server, at the end of the PvP server, because the season is shorter, it's only 3 phases. You know, technically 4 if you like peace out on the 4th, but you don't get anything extra for that. You're looking at 31,600 total Starchrom that you can get, and that's if you are like, you know, top 101, you know, and below. Because I assume that if you're a PvE player, you're probably not going to be chasing the leaderboards. However, if you did chase the leaderboards, you know, that number would go from like 31,600 to like 32, or like even if you were in the top 10, you're still sitting at under 3,500. Now, if you were to say sign up for a PvE server, especially like if you were to do like a hard PvE server, so you know, we'll go through here and see what we have. I chose Prismverse Clash, but if we were to go to Manibus again, and then here we were to sign up for a PvE server, and what we would want to do is look for a server where the opening time is older, so that we could get into phase 4 earlier and have the ability to leave, so that we don't miss getting into the new scenario. Now there's a bunch. There's on the 18th, the 21st, the 25th, you know, is even good enough. I prefer to go to like a later one, because then you're like almost in phase 2 and you don't have as much, you know, locked down, so you can just like jump right into it. You'll have almost back-to-back weeks of commissions. That takes you to like level 25 right there, just basically doing nothing. So what I would do is I would sign up for something like this. And you can see sign up ends in another 4 days, so even if you're on the other servers that aren't going to get a chance to go for a couple more days, you'll still have access to this. But this will take you into the halfway mark for the season before the 17th, so essentially if you join this now, 17th rolls around, you'll be able to do the exit thing. You'll still make it into the Way of the Winter, like day 1, day 2. So you're not really missing out on anything. However, if you were to join a hard mode server, you're going to get a lot more Starchrom than you would if you joined the PvP server. And you'll be able to get all of the fragments. One of the things that kind of annoyed me, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but when I went over to the PvP server, I had a shrapnel build and I needed a beret, and the beret is from a quest that you get for T-Man, but T-Man wasn't there, and I don't know if T-Man's just deleted or if there's another way to get the beret, but essentially, like, I have a gun over there that I can't get the key item for, and that was kind of upsetting. So at least if I would have went to like a PvE server, I know all that stuff's going to be there. So I'm going to be able to get the max amount of fragments to upgrade my gear. I'm going to have access to the same wish machines as I had in the previous server. So that is really big, because now you go back to that same wish machine and you're able to gamble again for the Jaws or for the Predator, depending on which server you end up joining. That's going to instantly allow you to boost up that gear even more for the way of the winter. Because if you go over to the PvP server, the banner for that is the Memento. And I don't know of anybody that's using the Memento. I'm not saying it's a terrible gun. It's probably really good, especially with bosses and whatnot. It hits super hard. But if you're working on like upgrading the gear from this season that you were just in, you're going to be able to upgrade it a lot easier if you go to another PvE server. So back to the numbers. If you do a hard mode for 4 phases, right? So you have like all of the regular stuff. So if we go into here, like we're talking, you'll have access to the first 4 of these. So if we go in here and you just do the math on this stuff, you're looking at, on a normal server, it's 2,000, 3,500, 4,500, and then 5,000 for phase 4. On a hard mode, it's 2,400, 4,200, 5,400, 6,000 on phase 4. And then that doesn't count, 4,000 we'll say is a wash because you're going to be able to do purifications on everything. But if you go to a hard mode, that's 2,400 plus you're getting 4,400, so you're getting an extra 400 each week based on the fact that you're doing the hard mode purifications. And hard mode purifications, super easy. I don't know why they said it's hard. The mobs are still level 35, like you can blow through that. I do 40 at a time solo. It's super simple. So you're getting 4,400 a pop on top of the Prime Wars, which is going to give you even more. So if you were to choose a normal server, you're walking out with 40,000. And remember, this is opposed to like 31,000. If you go onto a hard mode server, you're walking away with 44,600. So that's a big difference. 44,600 versus going to the PvP for 31,600. So that's basically what I wanted to tell you guys. You have options now. Before we didn't have options. We had to like either sit on the server and do nothing or twiddle our thumbs, and basically all we could do is gain, the weekly purifications. But now that we can exit the scenario halfway, so as soon as we get to like this phase 4 mark, we can leave. What you'd want to do obviously is jump in, make sure you finish out the first 4 so that you guarantee you get all your stuff. But after that, you do your stuff and you leave and you go play on, like I said, day 1 or day 2 on the way of the winter, and you're set. This is actually even better for PvEers than joining the PvP. Now, if you do want to try something new, go do the PvP server. I was on there. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I actually like having, like when I'm driving and I see someone like, oh, is it Rosetta? Is it Mayfly? Am I going to get into a battle? I think that's really cool. But that's, again, not for everybody. But I thought I would let you guys know, since I was thinking about it today, that this is a great alternative for people that are ending their season like right now, and they need to decide whether they're going to wait or they're going to go to PvP. And if you're a PvEer, I know it's not great having to do the same thing for the 3rd time, but you can do the simplified quest and basically just knock it out. But you're there just gathering up Starchrom, building your gear up, and getting ready for the next phase. Now, with all of that said, I did want to mention a few things for transferring. A lot of people are going to be transferring regardless of where you go. It's a little don't forget list. So number 1, make sure that you craft yourself a drill And make sure that you craft yourself like a chainsaw or an axe. You're going to want to bring those over. Anything that is built from a mimetic specialization will not transfer. So, like your gold bars, your combo chips, all the stuff that you thought you were going to bring over to get like a quick jump, that's not going to transfer. So you're not going to be able to make a lot of money that way. Next thing is make sure that you claim all your Starchrom boxes. So if you hit escape, I don't know if a lot of people know about this, you need 400, oh, whoops. Yeah, you click on here, and then you go to season goals, and then you go to season shop. Inside the season shop, annual seasons, Starchrom crates. Make sure you buy all of these. You can do this in the last thing. Do not leave without buying these. It's another like 4,000 Starchrom, and I think it costs you like 400k. The other thing that you don't want to forget is the planular vendor. So if you go to the town, there's going to be a vendor there. The guy with the loot with the crate next to him, Severus or something, I think his name is, on there with the planulars, which you get from doing side missions, he'll sell you a bunch of Starchrom crates as well. And then also, I didn't even add this into the calculation, he sells you 8 boxes, but on the PvP server, since it's only half the season, you can only get 4 boxes, so that's even more Starchrom, and I'm sorry I'm so slow. I live in a constant state of being overweight. Apologize for that. But yeah, so make sure that you pick those up. I'll show you where the guy is right now. So, ooh, Ghost Ride. Nice car. So yeah, he's back here in the corner, but you can find him in all the towns. This guy right here, Severin. If you talk to him, shop, he's got Starchrom crates. So he's got 8 of them. So do your side quest. This is an alt character. I didn't do mine, but you can get 8 of them. Each one of them has 500. So that's a lot of Starchrom. Make sure you get those. So those are the big things. And then also, I did this once. Don't make this mistake. Make sure you click on this phase 5 and claim these 3. Yeah, I did. I had a server, it was an alt, I came from a PvP server, I didn't know better, so I went through and I didn't collect that. That is a lot of Starchrom to leave on the table. So do those 3 things, figure out what you want to do, whether it's going to a PvE server or PvP server, now that you know you have options, check it out. And then let me know in the comments down below what you decided. Did this change your mind where you were going to go to a PvP and now you're going to a PvE because you know you're going to get more? Or are you going to just sit on your server anyway and say forget it? Or did you decide that you want to be a PvP player for a little bit? So let me know. And as always, smash that like button if you enjoyed this, if you learned anything, and make sure you subscribe for more Once Human content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.